Sri Lanka without a doubt is one of the best kept secrets in the whole of Asia. Known as the Pearl of the Indian Ocean, Sri Lanka is just that, an absolute pearl. From the shores of the Indian Ocean to the mountainous ruins of Ritigala, everything you see in this beautiful island nation you'll want to thoroughly explore. It isn't a big country, but the list of things to do in Sri Lanka are almost endless. Sri Lanka to most is generally known for its spicy food, surf and elephants, and don't get us wrong, we'd go back to Sri Lanka in a second just for these things. But there are a lot more things to do, so keep watching till the end. Sri Lanka is an epic tropical paradise to get your adventure kicks pumping. What is your favorite place in Sri Lanka? Please let us know in the comments. Here are our favorite activities and spots. Eat all of the spicy food. Sri Lankan food is spicy. Everyone loves a bit of chili, but Sri Lankan food is just next level spicy, yet at the same time it is so delicious. You will find that whatever you eat in Colombo, you will find in Gale or Kandy, so there will always be an opportunity to taste something that you didn't get to try elsewhere. While on it, use the time to explore the local markets found all over Sri Lanka. Try new fruits, taste some local dishes, and of course meet the local vendors. Check out the street food tour below of Colombo to experience all of its mixed cuisines and see some of city's highlights. Enjoy the stunning beaches. Beaches in Sri Lanka are just incredible. Lined with coconut palms and the odd surf shack that happens to serve cocktails such as the local favorite, Arak. Southern Sri Lanka is where you are going to find that perfect beach. Nuwara Eliya beach is probably one of the most stunning beaches in the country, and at the same time is home to nesting sea turtles. Ritigala beach, another stretch of pristine gold sand, lined with an abundance of coconut palms and turquoise water. Nuwara Eliya beach, located on Sri Lanka's east coast, offers the feel of being remote, and rightly so, but due to a high tourism volume, coral reefs have been affected by tourism operators. Go surfing. In general, there are 3 coastal spots, being the East Coast, West Coast and South Coast. Access to these coastal spots is fairly easy as the waves break close to shore, meaning that all you will really need is yourself and a surfboard. If you aren't a surfer and don't have a board and would love to give it a rip, you can always hire a board and a surf instructor. Some of the top spots are Mitigama, Aragam Bay, and Welagama. Take a road trip along the south coast. From Udawalawe to Mirissa to Gale, the south coast of Sri Lanka is perfect for a road trip. You can grab a bike and cruise your way through each town, stopping for a surf or a coffee at every new beach. Palm trees and epic beaches line the coast. There are so many awesome, tropical beaches along this coastline that it gets repetitive in a good way. So grab a bike and enjoy one of the top things to do in Sri Lanka. Have a close encounter with whales. Sri Lanka's southern tip nudges the depths of the continental shelf. It's an area favored by blue whales, and nowhere else does the world's biggest creature swim so close and so reliably to land. Dundrahead is your jumping off point. From January to April, blue whales pass here on their route from the Bay of Bengal to the western Indian Ocean. They fill their bellies on the krill and squid that thrive in these waters, enriched by the outfall of Sri Lanka's 103 rivers. Make sure to check the whale sightings of the previous day, the weather and sea conditions before jumping on one of the whale watching tours. Nothing can spoil this experience more than being seasick. Visit Gale. Built by the Dutch in 1663, the walled city of Gale, on the country's southernmost top and surrounded by ocean on 3 sides, is a must on any visit to Sri Lanka. Inside the fort, you'll find Dutch colonial buildings, ancient mosques and churches, museums, and lots of quirky boutique cafes and restaurants. Outside, you'll be laying your eyes on some of the most beautiful beaches in Sri Lanka. Don't forget to drop by nearby Galle to see the famous stilt fishermen. Spotting them perched in the ocean on their frames, made from sticks and twine, is one of the most iconic and extraordinary sights in the country. Go on safari. It is an unmissable experience to go on a safari while in Sri Lanka. There are many national parks with great experiences and many different exotic animals. Whether you get into an open-top jeep or a boat, you have high chances of meeting elephants, leopards, sloths, turtles, and more amazing creatures. Udawalawe National Park offers you one of your best chances of seeing elephants roaming free. Created to protect the watershed of the enormous Udawalawe Reservoir, this park is home to around 400 elephants and has extensive stretches of grassland as well as scrub jungle and riverine forest. It is one of the best places to go bird watching in Sri Lanka too. Galle National Park receives fewer visitors than many of the other parks and also offers a unique experience. Here, the elephants commonly swim across Senanayak Samudra Lake, Sri Lanka's largest body of water, and you can take a boat safari to see them. To see the world's largest congregation of Asian elephants, visit Kadula or Mirissa NP in the dry season, June to September, when what is known as the gathering takes place as hundreds of the elephants cluster around water. Yala National Park is Sri Lanka's #1 leopard sanctuary. The big cats are thriving here in territories of little more than a kilometer each, the highest density in the world, making seeing one almost a certainty. You can actually do a safari, which is surprisingly affordable with a 3-hour experience, but the 2-day all-inclusive safari option allows you to sleep in a luxury accommodation amongst the wilderness with better chances of spotting leopards at dawn and dusk. Check out the link below for more details. Climb Sigiriya Rock. Sigiriya Rock is referred to as the 8th wonder of the world. It is a truly astonishing feat of architecture. The fortress at the top has been subjected to many wars and invasions, making this a very historic site. It's one of the most popular tourist things to do in Sri Lanka. 370 meters above sea level and 200 meters higher than the jungle below is the top of Sigiriya Rock. The fortress consists of abandoned palaces, ponds, waterways, canals, stairs, and walls. If you are in Colombo, there's a great full-day tour including climbing to the top of Sigiriya Rock that you should definitely check out at the link below. Hike to the top of Pidurangala Rock. While Sigiriya Rock is rich in history, Pidurangala Rock has a much more natural feel, despite also housing a temple. It is adjacent to Sigiriya Rock and is the best viewing spot of Sigiriya Rock as it is only slightly lower. Pidurangala is a popular spot for sunrise as you can enjoy 360-degree views of not only the valleys but also Sigiriya Rock. There is no need to choose between the two. Many travelers wake up for the sunrise at Pidurangala and then head to sunset on top of Sigiriya Rock. Go hiking in Riverston. Riverston is a region best defined by the popular term, off the beaten path. If you want something unique and to get away from the crowds, this is one of the best places to visit in Sri Lanka. The hike doesn't have a specific name according to the locals other than the Riverston hike. The hike looks out over the Knuckles mountain range and the surrounding highlands. It's one of the short day trip hikes in the area. The end of the hike ends with a sharp 300-meter drop, which made for some pretty epic photos. From here you can chill and take in the views of the surroundings. This spot is called the World's End. The hike is 5 kilometers long but not incredibly difficult. If you would like to organize a tour, there is actually a really cool tour that takes you from Kandy on a hike to see the Knuckles at World's End. The tour takes you along the ridges of the Knuckles mountain range as you enjoy the beautiful views during this full-day adventure that includes pickup and drop-off from Kandy. Visit the Ritigala ancient monastery. Before you even start the short hike, the journey kicks off with a 30-minute jeep ride from the main road past lush forest, eventually leading to a dirt road at the foot of Ritigala Peak. It is quite a special place given that the ancient 4th century ruins are immersed within the Ritigala Nature Reserve with various crystal blue streams flowing past the ruins. Today its ruins are said to be the place where monks of all levels came and lived during their practices. From ruin to ruin, the track gently flows toward a dead end, leaving you at a place which is perfect to sit back and take in your surroundings. Explore Kandy. The last capital of the ancient kings of Sri Lanka, and a popular getaway for colonial administrators looking to escape the heat, Kandy is a pretty place, tucked beside a lake in the country's central highlands. Make sure you visit the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic, which is housed in Kandy's teeming temple complex. Wars have been fought over this relic, believed to have belonged to Buddha himself. Join the devout to add your own petal offerings and light votive candles. If your visit coincides with the spectacular Resla festival, a late June, early July celebration paying homage to the Sacred Tooth Relic, make sure you get a good seat. The lively parade means that restaurants and shops along the route sell tickets, so book your spot early. Ride the Kandy to Yala train. The Kandy to Yala train journey is said to be one of the most scenic, epic train journeys in the world. The ticket price is only $1.50 for the 5-hour journey. Enjoy stunning views from the window or, as some do, from the open doors. Just be careful you don't get too mesmerized by the scenery and lose your grip. It is best to combine this trip with the visit of Kandy, Yala and the surrounding tea plantations. There are many agencies offering great bundles, like a tour where you take the train from Kandy to Yala and do a tea plantation visit. It includes lunch and all the organization is taken care of, so it's a pretty relaxing journey. Visit Nine Arch Bridge in Yala. The Nine Arch Bridge in Yala is on the Dambulla loop and spans 91 meters at a height of 24 meters. The beautiful Nine Arches make it a very picturesque spot, especially as it is located in a dense jungle and agricultural setting. Behind the railway, a forest is booming, and below, tea leaves are being cultivated. There are a number of cafes in the hills with vantage points of the bridge, but down at the bridge is where you want to be. The Nine Arch Bridge has a huge bend, and watching a train come around the bend on this bridge is just amazing. If you are in Yala and looking to visit Little Adams Peak but also want to see Yala Rock and the famous Nine Arch Bridge, there is a great day tour that packs it all in. It's extremely good value considering you can tick off all 3 attractions in just one day for about $55. It is called the Yala 3 Icons Day Tour. Hike Little Adams Peak. If you want to enjoy some of the best views in Yala without needing to hike for hours, Little Adams Peak is an awesome adventure. It's best enjoyed during sunrise or sunset. It's one of the top things to do in Sri Lanka if you enjoy hiking. The trail begins with a moderate incline as it winds through tea plantations. It will lead you up to 1,141 meters above sea level, although you already begin at a high elevation, so you will only hike up a few hundred meters. There are multiple platforms, rocks, and viewpoints perfect for photos once you hit the top of Little Adams Peak. Hike to the top of Diyaluma Falls. Diyaluma Falls is the second biggest waterfall in Sri Lanka and is the perfect spot for a full-day adventure. There are multiple falls and natural pools throughout this hike in the Udawalawe region. The hike is almost entirely downhill and follows a well-marked trail the whole way. There's a day tour that runs from Yala and takes you on the hike to Diyaluma Falls that we can recommend below. Trek through a tea plantation in Nuwara Eliya. If you want to see where Lipton tea is coming from, this is the stop to be. The Royal Tea Trail begins innocuously by the roadside before beginning to the wind between steep tea terraces. Although unlike the rice terraces in Bali, these are not tiered. There are no steps and the tea pluckers must scale the sharp incline. The tea plants are scattered with no particular pattern, although they are often layered, creating a beautiful linear design on the side of the mountains. If you only do one guided tour, this activity is one of the must-do in Sri Lanka. It is possible to take a car up, but an open-air tuk-tuk ride is much more fun. Head out early before the afternoon fog cloaks the surrounding mountains, clouding the awe-inspiring views. There are many more adventures waiting for you in Sri Lanka, but we could not fit them in this video anymore. Hope you have a great time. Stay safe and keep traveling.